He's one of the founders of the Middle East Council of Shopping Centers in 1994. He runs and was the first person to open a Giordano store regionally. And now he will explain a little bit more, but Ishwar drives a bus for Giordano around the world, really. He can explain a little bit more about that. But when I say that Ishwar was important for the organization, when I took over 11 years ago, he brought to me handwritten notes of the first meeting of the Middle East Council of Shopping Centers. And it was very special for me. We still have them in our office, our file, which is wonderful. But he's instrumental in the region and the retail world. This gentleman knows more about retail than anyone else, probably in this room for sure. So I give a very warm welcome to Ishwar. Thank you very much.
So we set up Sindbad in 1980 at Ghurair Center. I'll show you one or two pictures later. And then in 1992, we set up Giordano as a franchise. And in 1995, I joined the board globally and look after the brand in the whole MENA region and sit on the management committee of Giordano International. Apart from being involved as a founding member advisor of the MECSC, I'm also a founding member and advisor of the Retail Business Group under the Dubai Chamber of Commerce. So much for that. I believe in life when we grew up. We go to school, we gain knowledge from our elders, from school, from our teachers. Then we start working, and when we start working, we gain experience. And experience is bad and good. We face challenges. And post-experience, we gain some wisdom. And I believe it is our duty as responsible citizens to share some of that wisdom back to you all and to the new generation so that you also improve and create your own experience and wisdom in the future. So let's move on. That was me in 1983. I don't know if you know Mohammed Al-Mari is the Victory World Champion boat driver, and that man over there was the head of the Dubai airport, and that's me from Sindbad to Giordano. I grew up in the Philippines, born and brought up. This year my family will be 100 years over there. I'm ethnically Indian, but I grew up in the Philippines, moved here. So this year is also my 45th year in the region and in the industry. David spoke about training, knowledge, relationship. One of the reasons why I feel Giordano is where it is today is because we believe in relationship. I still meet the leasing people myself, even till today. For me, that's non-negotiable. In Saudi, our COO has to be the one to meet the leasing people. And when David invited me here today, I said, oh my God, this is such an opportunity because I'll meet a lot of new people who have never heard of me, but by the time we leave today, they would know, oh my God, whether he's a bad or a good guy, I don't know.
Oh, he's a great guy.
Also, I have 3 of my team members who have moved on, and I always say, if you move, change is good, but you should be never worse off and better. And I'm so happy because today they're across the table when I deal with them. So I believe in life, you never know who's going to be across the table. So it's all about relationship, how you treat people. I have these 4 principles. I won't say S-H-I-T, I'll say H-I-T-S, humility, integrity, trust, and sincerity. If you haven't been there, it's worth going. I meet them in Ramadan, and you'll see all the photos, the Dixie Cola, from the first mobile phone, the first pager. It is an eye-opener. When I showed it to David, he said, we're going to go one of these days. So I added this today to show that even till today, even though there's no Sindbad, I continue to be in touch with them. Now, the 4 P's that I always talk for success I always put people first. Without my people, I am not where I am today. Without the people that I deal with and I communicate with, we will not be where we are today. Passion, okay? Like our chairman is CEO, chairman for 37 years. I am with Giordano 32 years. The average senior management with us over 20 years, and we have a 94% retention rate. It's the way we treat our people. Patience, we've gone through challenges, ups and downs, but patience and perseverance, nothing will stop us. You want to add something to this, David?
No, those are all absolutely the way I see business and life.
Okay, now we go. The day I came to Dubai, my mindset was, I've come here to work with this company. They brought me here because they knew that I could deliver, and I joined them because I thought it could be a future for me. It's a mindset that we tell all our employees. I know it's easier said than done, but I do not believe we work for anybody. We work with companies, and companies should consider that we work with them. The day they try to put them above you, the day they treat you as a commodity, as a number, as an employee number, your mindset just changes. So every employee that comes in, when we do the induction, we also make it clear to them that you work with us and not for us. I learned from Giordano and the people we meet in the last 30 years, 3 things that every business should consider. Take note of this because it's nothing only to do with retail, but it's for everything that you do. Number 1, identify what's important. For us, we look at trends. During COVID, we realized it was homeware, so we went into joggers. Malls had different things. They realized what was important at that time. Number 2, make it obvious. We have 2,000 stores globally. How do we make what is important obvious? And number 3, I call it MENA, make old new again. How do we keep reinventing ourselves, our brand? How do we keep selling the same t-shirts over and over again? How does McDonald's keep selling the same Big Mac over and over again? How do you get people to keep coming to your malls over and over again? Look at some of the brands that have made a comeback. Madonna, Celebrity, Puma, Skechers, Volkswagen Beetle. You know, there are so many examples of that, dying brands, but then they have made themselves new again. Remember this, in every business, high sales is vanity, profit is sanity, and cash flow is a reality. David, anything to add on that?
No, it couldn't be stated any more clear.
As a retailer, we learned that if we're only going to give our team members incentives based on high sales, they will go discounting every day just to reach the sale. We work on margins. So if you hit your margins, it's margins that pay the bills, not high sales. And then that also helps out. I've been running companies for 45 years. I have never dealt with a bank. I've never taken a loan. We're a totally debt-free company. How we have done that? Maybe it's because we were here early. We manage our cash flows well. Our principals and business owners don't take all the money away, and they allow us to keep reinvesting whatever money that comes in. So we've been fortunate, but I'm sure some of you will also, if you're prudent with your cash flows, with your management, you will also be able to achieve this. At Giordano, our number 1 core value is simplicity. When you keep things simple, you eliminate complications and barriers. You simplify your processes, you save time. Even for your customers, when they come to the stores or to the malls, if your guy said we have to go to VP of this, VP of that, VP of that till the top, your customers will walk away. Customers don't care who's the boss. Customers want their problem solved now. at the time or whoever they meet. So if you can do that, you save them time, you win them, and they come back and spend more money in your malls, in your stores, over and over again. There's a Chinese saying, to open a shop is easy. To keep it open is an art. We're a single brand. Okay, we compete with companies that have 20, 30 brands. Many years ago, one of the big four consultancies came to our principal and said, "We will not survive. You're alone. You need to be part of a big group." We are surviving even till today. Last year was our 30 years and was the best ever for us. What have we done? We just believed in the brand, our patience, perseverance, and gave the sense of ownership to our people. So even after 30 years, we have continued to be relevant. Don't find customers for your products, find products for your customers. Same thing for your mall. You know, it's always the customers first. So keep that in mind, and if you start from there, then it's much easier to understand the flow forward. In life, in work, in everything that we do, we need to consider the 3H. Your head, because you need common sense, you need to think, you need to reflect before you do anything. Your heart, you need to have the passion, you need to love what you do, and your hands, you need to sweat a little and work on. If you fall in love with your heart but not use your head, it can be very painful. But if you use all three together, I'm sure you will be able to move forward and accomplish a lot of your objectives. So the 3H, love what you do, think before you do anything, and sweat it out a bit and work hard. Don't fear competition. It's a big jungle out there. People always say, are you not afraid of the big guys, 20,000 square feet, the big retailers, they get all the best locations? Well, in a jungle, you have monkeys and you have elephants. Elephants are big, they're loud, they have big budgets, they take bigger space. But they're also slightly slower. We're monkeys. We're quick, we're nimble, we're agile, we're flexible. We go where nobody dares to go. We entered Mecca, Medina 20 years ago. I was there at Medina last week to see. We're in markets like Ghana, Algeria, Georgia, Kenya, Egypt. We're in 35 countries because we try to be nimble and quick. The big brands will take time, so it's also an added advantage. So we should never be scared of anybody big. I put this down because competition in a business is a powerful force of innovation, efficiency, improvement. It drives us to do better, to innovate, and to deliver more value to their customers. Embrace competition, for it is the catalyst that pushes us to strive for excellence and to surpass our own limitations. I thank competition for bringing us where we are today. Because if there's no competition, we would be lazy, we would be complacent, and we would not have 45 stores here or 80 stores in Saudi. When Al Ghurair opened, I was there. We were the first tenant at Al Ghurair Center when it opened in June 1980. And then Dera City Center came and Bur Juman, and everybody says the market will die. And look at it today. You have Mall of the Emirates, you have Dubai Mall, you have all the big malls, cities, and every mall is growing. The population is growing. So as and when more and more brands come in, we also learn from them. We also improve. The same thing with all of you. Your mall can be small, it can be medium, it can be large, but there's always going to be an opportunity. Again, shopping is all about relationships. Trust is key. So like up to today, when I meet a lot of my mall friends, colleagues, I've known David from the time he's come here. I've dealt with him for my Dubai Marina Mall is thanks to him. My store at Festival City, thanks to him. And still we're friends. See? So that relationship and that trust continues. Blindly, he knows that there are retailers, whether it's us or others, that they know will deliver, and they will also make sure that it's a good choice for them that they came into the mall. Some of my best stores, another colleague of ours, Phil MacArthur, we're sitting in a restaurant and we just shake hands. Why? Because of the trust that's built during the years. My Sharjah City Center store, my Dera store was done through Phil. Again, it's all about relationship. I'll go back. I know COVID's long gone, but I just want to say that when that happened, our business was zero. And I read this saying that we cannot control what is happening, but we can control how we handle what's happening. So the first thing I did was I realized that all our people are all across the city. Some of them we have no access, is create a WhatsApp group to get everyone and get everybody as a town hall to give ideas, suggestions, and help each other. Then when it came to how much expenses, we also know they have rents, their families are here, they have food to buy, they have medical expense. I put it down to all the managers and says that we will take a 50% cut, and inside we were going to ask for 25, but we didn't ask them, we asked them to come back, they asked for 30. So when you make your team members and employees part of the planning, decision-making process, you will be amazed that they can be softer than you. Okay? And that has made the big difference. So remember, where's that? Business during challenging times is the best time that will bring to the surface the leaks, the tiny fractures, the weaknesses of a company that you will never notice during the good times. When everything is good, nobody bothers. But in a situation like when COVID happened or the economic crisis, you take a pause and then you look back, because you need to look back and learn from the lessons of the past to form the wisdom of the future. So Giordano is a 40-year-old brand. It's survived in so many different countries. We've had challenges in some countries, but we've also have a lot of wins in other countries. But we just have to look back at our DNA and then continue to do what we do best. I'm always available. I'm on LinkedIn, so you have my name now if you need to reach out to me. I know some of you here are having some new malls. Yeah, I may not go to all the malls, but at least we can communicate and get my team to be in touch with you. And I'll go to the next slide now. In challenging times come new opportunities. Okay, whenever there are challenges, if you run away from challenges, you get weaker. But challenges makes you stronger and brings new opportunities. And it's also allowed us to look at many new markets, many new products, and many new ways on how we manage our brand. So remember that, it's very important, and I'm sure even in the industry you've been, David, you know.
Absolutely. It's the challenging times that give you the character that you need.
It's like the 100 meters. Everybody knows that that's the world record. So that challenge is for everyone to do better, to make sure they beat that record. Like even for my own people, every year, I'd say, this is what you did last year, how can you beat it? And we also have a system within the companies that we have a cluster of 7 or 8 stores run by an area manager. We, by the way, in the last 30 years have not hired any senior people. Everyone has come from the bottom. So how do we change things? An area manager who handles 8 stores, every 2 years, we shuffle them and take on a new area. So they take new stores, new team, and they just have to show growth. Because what better than have someone who understands the brand than bring somebody from the outside who thinks they know it all. Like again, whatever I'm sharing today may work, may not work, but it's our own experience. Maybe you learn something from it, maybe it won't work, but at least you will take home something that says, oh, maybe I can change my thinking around that. Retailers are competing in an era of more information, choices, and channels. Okay, when we entered, we were the first franchise brand for organized retail. There was only Fashion Way at that time. Most of the people entered few months after or later. Most of it were the local brands, the brands from the bazaar. When Ghurair Center opened, there were 4 stores. Sindbad, the amusement arcade. Then you had the supermarket down. Then there was the Smoker Center, and there was a textile store called Nishi's. At that time, it was very, very difficult to fill up a mall. It took time till the people from the streets moved to the malls, and more brands came. Today, we're competing with 350 more apparel brands. Yet, there's opportunity for all. Then we're going to compete with hypermarkets because the people of today will spend money on mobile phones, entertainment. In Saudi, one of the biggest challenges, because earlier there were no cinemas, no leisure. So today that spend is now spread out. It's not only on shopping for clothes, but everything else. So the markets are changing. How do we evolve? The pace of change is very fast. Different channels, online, click and collect, plus now the digital economy. This is something we have to be ready. How do you gain your brand loyalty? How can you do more with less? How will you protect your market share, align your business strategies with today's consumers? Both of us were just talking about Gen X, Gen Z, how it's very, very different. We see that with our own children. It's tough, But at the end of the day, it's also fun. How do we plan to fulfill local demands? How do we plan to meet new channels? So, you need to ask yourself and find answers and solutions. It's not one answer, one solution. For each of us, it can be different. Now, I came across this recently, that for high performance retail and all, we need 4 things. Number 1 is agility, endurance. Build businesses to adapt, not just to last. Because some businesses just die. You need to have a business that you can scale, you can adjust, you're nimble, you're flexible, you make changes, and you move on when you feel there's no opportunity. There will always be opportunity somewhere else. Again, focus on customer perspective. I remember, as a retailer, our chairman always said, inventory should always be an asset, never a liability. I know many retailers, you may think they're the best in the industry, but inventory that they hold actually is eating up to their cash flow and profits. Okay? We, as a brand, are very disciplined that we do not keep more than 10% inventory in our warehouse. We don't even use the word warehouse. We call it a distribution center. If we know we're selling so many pieces every week, we have to make sure we bring similar number of pieces. And because of that, it's also helped our cash flows. Every first week of the month, we pay all our bills for all the merchandise supplied to us, and that discipline has continued. Also very important is to focus on the 80-20 principle. The first thing that I do every day is to check the top 20. Our top 20 should always account for 60 to 70% of our business, and then I look at the margin. If your top 20 is below 50%, means you have too many things, you're obliterating and confusing your customers. Even for you, your focus and effort, if you analyze, is like if you have 100 customers, 20 customers will make up 60 to 70% of your business. So it's very important, and there's a book called the 80-20. I hate books, but still I read. The 2 books that I've always admired is the 80-20 principle and the discipline of market leaders. I read those 2 books, and it's something I would recommend even though they're over 20 years old. Agility. Next is resilience and hope. We talked about patience and perseverance. We need to build employee resilience so that they know during good times and bad times, we're always with them. And at the end of the day, I'll just say when we broke all our numbers during our 30 years, it was the best news for our employees. It was the best motivation factor. Because through the years, my team members, I would say, would come to me and say, look, there's such a big brand that's open next to us. They have hundreds of things. And they were getting scared. But then as we grew along and they understood the brand, I think in the last 3 years, they've never asked the question again. They just keep doing what they do best. Remember, people don't need a map. They don't need instruction. They need a compass. If you have teams working under you, guide them. Give them directions. Don't give them a set rules that you have to do this, you have to do this. Once you have a compass, the compass can be adjusted depending on how the market is and how the situation is. The reason I can't read books is sometimes I have attention deficit disorder and I need to read things in small paragraphs because my mind keeps revolving. It's not that I hate books, it's just that I can't focus sometimes when I have to read. So I try to learn from the industry, snippets, news. I walk around the malls. I spend a lot of time doing what I say is my MBWA, management by walking around. I feel the best things I've learned is I spend my afternoons in the mall, ask one of my team members to walk with me and don't talk business. I just want him to talk about himself, his family, how he's doing with the company and what the company can do more so that they also benefit. So that's something that I've learned makes a big difference because you connect, the bonding is stronger and you make that emotional connect. Technology and data, I'm anti-tech. I can't take all that, I guess maybe because of age-wise or something, but I still believe in back to basics and I have good people to handle the tech. In tech and data, I try not to argue or debate because I'm not an expert in it. I try to learn a little. But at the end of the day, no matter what tech and data you have, I'm still a back to basic retailer. You still have to go back to basics where you have to treat your customer as king, respect and customer service, all the basics that we've learned of 100 years of retailing, good merchandising, good VM, good products, that's still very important. Now, real-time social shopping and real media opportunities, those are opportunities for the future. In China today, we're 65% online. So we've gone from 2,000 stores to 400 stores. Our business is there because the markets over there is different. Here, it's still 3 to 5% because shopping is still a pastime and a good pleasure for people. So each market is very different, but that will continue to grow. I'm talking about apparel retailing. Focus on the fundamentals. Busy is the new stupid. Focus on great products, prices, and people. That will be more important than trying to say you're very, very busy. That's the fundamental. And finally, I always say this. Good things come to those who believe, better things come to those who are patient, and the best things come to those who don't give up. Thank you very much for this opportunity, everyone.
Ishwar, you must come here. Everyone who is contributing to the organization in one way or the other gets one of these. Thank you so much, Ishwar.
Pleasure.
Thank you.